What's going on, everybody? Yesterday we reported that the Power Rangers reboot on Netflix is being canceled and possibly moved somewhere else. Looks like they're looking for another partner to go in on this project. Well, today there was an article that was released talking about, did Hasbro even want Power Rangers in the first place? I guess I was reading that they didn't do a lot of research and development on Power Rangers when they bought this. Goldner, the old CEO, really wanted this no matter what. Now we're in a weird position because they don't know what to do with it. We're going to talk about this article, break it down, give you my thoughts on what's going on in this crazy mind of mine, and then I want to hear you guys out there. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get into this video. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the Fan Club.
You're watching the Fan Club.
And you're watching the Fan Club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the Fan Club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fan Club. It is your boy Brosdan in the building. Welcome to the show. Yesterday was a very eventful day. I had so many damn messages and comments from fans. Let me know the news yesterday. We all found out that the Power Rangers reboot project at Netflix is being cut, is being canceled, maybe just being reworked to another platform. We're not quite sure, and we never were quite sure with this project. It has been 4 years, and there was really no information besides some tweets. There was never a teaser trailer or teaser poster, any graphic design art or anything like that. So how far in development were we even with this project? I hear that we had a couple scripts for it, but did we get that final script done? I heard that it was supposed to be a movie and then they took that script and turned it into a series, but now Netflix doesn't want to do it. And this article just came out today by Bounding Into Comics. Make sure you go check them out. It's titled, Hasbro reportedly never wanted Power Ranger brands purchased done without consulting R&D. Now, what is R&D? That is called research and development. Now, if you don't do your research on something, it can come back to bite you. And I think that that's what they're talking about here, is maybe they didn't do enough research with this brand to see if it was a good fit. But honestly, they make Transformers. What are Megazords? They're just Transformers, right? I thought that this was a perfect fit because they have all the action brands. They have Nerf. They have Transformers. They have G.I. Joe. Like, these are nice brands that go along with it. So I didn't think it was a bad purchase at first, but let's get into this article. A new report has revealed that Hasbro apparently never wanted anything to do with the Power Rangers brand. This insight was first brought public to attention on June 11th, courtesy of Josh Perry, the host of the YouTube news channel Toku Topics, who fans may recognize as the individual who's previously leaked Hasbro's decision to quietly shutter the Power Rangers Lightning Collection toy line ahead of their recent licensing of the brand's toy production duties to Playmates. Prompted by the reveal earlier yesterday that Hasbro had ceased production on their and Netflix's young adult-oriented Power Rangers television series in order to give the entire project a creative makeover, Perry informed his followers, with today's news, I feel comfortable sharing that in July of last year, right after I leaked the ending of the Lightning Collection, I got more DMs from more sources than ever. He learned that former Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner's purchase of the brand in E1 apparently was done without consulting R&D. The company never wanted Power Rangers. Oh, man. Now, when he said this, you had a few fans that were pressing him. One said, if all you say is true, then why did they even bother with continuing the television series and the Lightning Collection? Perry explained that Hasbro did so because they had to try and justify the purchase and dig themselves out of the hole. And for all of the fans out there that might not remember, in 2018, Goldner authorized the purchase of not just Power Rangers, but also a number of other toy brands held by Saban Entertainment for a combination of cash and stock valued at $522 million. That is a $500 million, my friends. Now, I could see them buying this and realizing, hey, we have to do a lot of stuff to make this right, because they bought E1, then they bought Power Rangers, or maybe it was the other way around, but they were buying a lot of stuff right away. But with E1, they did get Peppa Pig, and I thought at this time, I'm like, okay, they're getting brands. They already got Transformers, they got Peppa Pig, they got Power Rangers. If they do Power Rangers right, this could be successful. Okay, we got it right here. A year later, the former CEO would then pay a further $4 billion to acquire the Entertainment One company, $500 million of which was eventually recouped by selling off a number of the company's assets to Lionsgate, in the hopes of using their media production resources to further strengthen their storytelling capabilities and franchise economics in TV, film, and other mediums. They thought that Hasbro was going to turn into this huge entertainment company because everybody at the time was jumping on streaming. They were getting ready to make their own platforms like the Paramount Pluses, the Disney Pluses of the world. Like, they knew all that was coming. And the popular thing at the time was jumping on content, videos, movies, entertainment stuff, right? Well, then in 2021, Goldner would suddenly pass away from surprise complications related to prostate cancer, thus leaving his seat at the head of Hasbro open for current CEO Chris Cox to eventually fill. Since then, Power Rangers has had a rough go of things at virtually every turn. Having suffered a series of abysmal television outings across Beast Morphers and Dino Fury, we did see some improvement with Once and Always and Cosmic Fury, but we also saw a lack of support for toy collectors of even their most expensive offerings, and a refusal by Hasbro to focus on any other team but the original Mighty Morphin crew. Arguably, the only bright spot in Rangers' recent history have been Boom Studios' ongoing comic book adaptation and Enway's one-on-one fighting game Battle for the Grid. And even then, the former is about to come to an end, and the latter is about to have competition with Rita's Rewind coming out. As of writing this, in light the indefinite development halt of their young adult reboot, the farming out of the franchise's toys offerings to Playmates, and the comic book series' upcoming ending, Hasbro does not appear to be doing much of anything with the Power Rangers outside of overseeing its various licensing agreements. Now, I want to address the whole Hasbro didn't want Power Rangers thing. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think Goldner wanted it so bad he didn't do the R&D. And maybe if they did a little bit more research, maybe they would have had more numbers to argue about. And I do think, though, that when they got this brand, there was a time when they had a whole Power Ranger team. I think it was between Beast Morphers and Dino Fury. There was a lot of optimism for this brand. There was a lot of toys still on the shelves. We were still promoting it decently. There were shows coming out. Like, there was a lot of things for a fan. And I thought that these New Zealand shows were cheaply made to hit the numbers that you were looking for, right? I think there were a lot of crazy things that we did, and then we also got unlucky. I mean, we announced this right in the early stages of COVID. That took over like a year or two, so we couldn't do anything. And then as soon as we want to make the reboot, we move everybody out of New Zealand, make an announcement, we're going to start the reboot. Here comes the damn actor strike. By the time the actor strike's done, it seems like we're done with this project. And Jenny Klein was on a 2-year contract for this project. The contract's over now. So were we going to re-up her for more time? Like, it really is such a weird thing. Part of it is our fault, or Hasbro's fault, I should say. Part of it is just getting freaking unlucky. I think that COVID doesn't happen, or the strike doesn't happen. One of those things doesn't happen, and we have a reboot. But I think they ran into so many problems. And Dawson Ryder brought up a good point yesterday. COVID shifted how movies are watched. A lot of big name movies are not doing that good in theaters, and they're losing money type thing because there's only a handful of movies that people want to go to the movies for, like special events, big titles, stuff like that. Power Rangers was already kind of on that fringe, and now that COVID kind of changed the way that people go to movies, we definitely have to have this as a streaming option to start anyways. I don't see this doing huge numbers in the theaters, no matter what they do, honestly, because the last couple movies haven't been great. And I know one was from 2017, one was from 97. But people remember that shit. It's crazy how that all works. But if your last movie was bad, your next one might have less people. It is just some weird psychological thing that happens. The smart thing was putting it on Netflix, and now we spent all this money, put all this work in for a project that was never going to come out or something that eventually just never came out. Now, do we try to rework this, rewrite it, put it off somewhere else? I still think there's potential for this brand, just because somebody else doesn't see it, and I think Goldner saw it. That's why he didn't want to do the R&D. He didn't want the researchers and developers telling him what they were going to do with it because he had a plan in his mind. But once he died, there went the plan. Now, you could argue that if he had a real plan, they could have been able to copy and paste it pretty much. Basically, taking his whiteboard of the plan and just kept it going. But we don't know at what stage they were in, man. And you got to remember, this was the guy that wanted Power Rangers. He went out of his way. I compare this to like a coach on a football team. He drafts his number one pick, and then the next year the coach gets fired. A new coach comes in, and he isn't obligated to care about that first round pick compared to the ones that he's about to pick, right? He wants to put his mark on this team. And let's not be dumb here. Hasbro has so many other big name brands that most of the time it's smarter to focus on Transformers. It's smarter to focus on My Little Pony. But if you're going to buy something for $500 million, you should get your return. And if you do it right, you can. Like I was just saying, after Beast Morphers, we had a whole Power Ranger team, like a whole group of people that every day they clocked in, got their coffee, and talked about how they can make this brand better. They don't have that anymore. And it's not just Power Rangers. I do want to say that Hasbro as a whole is struggling. Also around Beast Morphers, they had a lot of money. They were doing a lot of things. Hasbro is hemorrhaging money, so they're not really caring about some of the mid-level brands. If they're not a top brand, they're not going to fully invest. That's why you see them doing all these licensing agreements, which is freaking sad, man. Because if we wanted that, we should have just stayed with Saban, even though I really liked what Hasbro did for the first 4 or 5 years with the show, even though the show didn't change that much. They were adding and taking away elements that made the show better. I would love to see what they're going to do. And I've said for years now, I just can't see Hasbro paying $500 million just to shelve this brand. I still believe that, even though I don't know what they're doing at this point. You know me, guys. I'm usually the more optimistic person, the more positive person on this show. But damn, stuff like this really makes you sad, man, because we love talking about Power Rangers. We love connecting with the fans, and I do this for a living, man. It's pretty sad that there's no Power Rangers. Like, what in the hell? And I'm not gonna lie, when Once and Always and Cosmic Fury came out last year, I did feel like we were pushing and promoting the shows harder than Hasbro was. I mean, we really were. When you talk about the previews, the reviews, all of the stuff we were doing for Power Rangers, it just felt like we were going out of our way to promote it and push this. And they probably shared their stuff a couple times on Twitter and Facebook, but they didn't put that much promotion into Power Rangers. And also, we did have a writers actor strike going on, so the actors couldn't really talk about it, which sucked. So they should have put even more promotion into that because they knew that the people that they hired couldn't talk about it, right? Man, there's so many things I just scratch my head on, and I don't want to see Power Rangers go out like this, man. Power Rangers is a brand we've all loved, and there's a reason why it has lasted 30 freaking years, man. It's because there are some good elements to it, and there's still a fan base. I know Dawson was talking about going on a 5-year hiatus. I don't know about that, man. I see where he's coming from in the sense of maybe they need people to forget about it to bring it back. But what if people really forget about it? What if we put it into the dark box and it never comes back out? And I do think that we could still have a show going on, but then work on a reboot. Like, pulling out of New Zealand was a dumb idea, in my opinion, because we could still make cheaply made shows and do something for the fans and the kids right now. Now we're out of New Zealand. We're basically guaranteed we have no new show in the next year or two. Kind of sucks, man. But what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think that Hasbro never wanted Power Rangers? I think it's more complicated than that. I think Goldner really did want Power Rangers. Maybe some other people on the team didn't want Power Rangers, but you just don't pay $500 million for something you don't want, even though it's happened in business before. I've seen businesses pay millions of dollars for a company just to shelve it type thing. And I so hope that that's not happening with this brand. I think they want to make some money, man. But what are your thoughts? Shout out everybody that helped with this video. I'm talking Josh at Toku Topics. I'm talking Bounty into Comics for putting it all together. And shout out all the fans out there that take the time out of their day to watch this content. You are the real MVPs and the reason why we can continue to make videos like this one. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I just want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members out there: the Arctic Operator, Roderick Ham, Papleon Purple, Salima Ramirez, Danny Nascimento, Stephen Heffelman, Chaos Draco, Thomas Franco, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, Miguel Ortiz, and Sean Schiffer. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. I just want to shout out all of the fans out there for taking the time out of their day to watch this content. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you can, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that share button. And if you guys want to be a member, click that join button right now. We have a Blue Ranger membership that gets you into the exclusive fan chat Discord. Then we have the Gold Ranger membership. It gets you into the fan chat, but you also get a video shout out at the end of every video. I want to thank you guys again. If you can, sign up to be a member. We will see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.